Tuesday night. So, but they've got to play these two against Clovis and try to notch a couple of wins here and then go into that doubleheader against Carlsbad on the road very strong. So here we are with Clovis coming up to bat as visitors, of course. And your first batter is Michaela Romero, your second baseman for Clovis. First pitch is in, and it's going to be just a little bit low and outside for ball number one. Dealing with some wind up here in the booth. I think I'm going to have to learn to bring some rubber bands to hold. Oh, and a swing and a high fly ball headed out to left field. And coming under that is Cameron Harrison. Catches it and hangs on to it. The wind is gusty this afternoon. It will have a factor on the air balls as it is blowing strong enough at times in from right to left across the field to play with those balls, especially the ones that are going to pop up a little higher in the air. But no problem. Harrison followed that, and just like that, 2 pitches and 1 out. Pretty efficient here in the top of the first inning. 1 out. And that is going to be a call strike, a beautiful pitch by Bennett, who is your starting pitcher this afternoon. Bennett in the circle, Rodriguez behind the plate. That's your battery for Hobbs. We'll catch up with the rest here in just a moment. So there is 1 strike. I think sunglasses are going to have to come off. Can't see. And my scorebook is threatening to blow away here. Oh, and 2 now the count on Ceja, Adriana Ceja, your third baseman for Clovis. Oh, there's a grounder sharply hit, bouncing right over to first. Garcia with a nice play picks it up, and that was not easy as that was bouncing. She got it and went over and made that out unassisted. So a fly out for to left field for the first out, and on the second pitch she saw, Ceja picked it up and a little choppy grounder to first. 3 unassisted for the second out. Now, Giselle Romero, the shortstop for Clovis, coming up to the plate. 2 outs, nobody on, and a call, strike 1. Bennett is finding the zone and finding it early, and good speed, some nice pop in the glove. 0-1 count on Romero. 2 outs, nobody on. That is going to hit the outside corner as well. Beautiful pitch. That had a little curve and a little late action on that, but stayed across the edge of the plate for strike 2. 2 outs, 0-2 on the third batter up for Clovis. And that is going to be swung on and fouled back into the screen. Count remains 0-2 now on Romero. Hobbs would like to go ahead and get these 3 up, 3 down if they can. On deck is Marissa Lopez, the pitcher. And in the hole is Shalonda Lefevre, the catcher, if we get that far. Hobbs would like to end it right here. And there's a little bouncer. It's going to be handled. Oh, and you know what? It just is a little too far for Bennett. She came out of the circle toward third base to get it. And then Young came over from third to try to get it, stabbed at it with her glove, knocked it down, but then didn't have time to make the throw in the play. So I think that's just an infield single. It won't be an error on anybody. An infield single puts Romero on first, 2 outs, and Lopez, the pitcher, to the plate. First pitch is going to be low for ball number 1. So 1-0 count. Sorry, get the score bug adjusted. 1-0 count, 2 outs, 1 person on. Beautiful call, strike, nice. Fastball right over the plate, right between the knees and the letters. 1-1 count now on Lopez, who is your pitcher for Clovis. 2 outs, 1 on. That is going to, yes, hit the outside corner. So calling the corners early, as long as the ump is consistent about that, and you know what to expect as a pitcher and a catcher, then that is not a problem. 1-2 the count. 2 outs, 1 runner on first base. That's Romero reaching on an infield single. Oh, and a swing and a miss, protecting the plate probably, and golfed at that just a little, and a strikeout. So that's the third out, and 4 up, 3 down. Has no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the first inning with the Lady Eagles coming up to bat, and it'll be, of course, the top of the order, bottom of the first, no score. We'll be back with more Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
The team of Hobbs Rental Valve Services is proud to support the Eagles in sports and academics. Hobbs Rental provides competitive valve services, relief valve, vent valve, and thief hatch maintenance. PR certified and ISN approved. When you need the job done right the first time, call Hobbs Rental Valve Service 393-3085, 393-3085. Hobbs Rental Valve Service, 814 West Marland, is a proud supporter of Lee County Athletics. Go Eagles!
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
And welcome back to Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. The first of a doubleheader this afternoon. Pretty nice weather, a little bit gusty, a little bit breezy, creating just a little bit of problem for balls in the air this afternoon, and a little bit of dirt. Hobbs is coming up to the plate. Bottom of the first inning, no score. In that top of the first inning, there were no runs on one hit, no errors, one left on base for Clovis, and it is Kaya Boyer, leadoff batter for Hobbs, coming up. Number 13, Boyle, playing second base for Hobbs. She is followed by number 5, Mariah Jimenez, playing right field, and then number 1, Edith Chavez, playing center field. So Boyle at the plate, Jimenez on deck, Chavez in the hole. And on the mound is Lopez for Clovis. And the first pitch is going to be outside for ball number 1. And that's going to be 2 balls, so 2-0 the count now on Boyle. Wanting to get something started for Hobbs. They had a very efficient top of the first. Now they want to get the bats going, get those bats swinging. Runners on and around, get some runs on the board. That is going to miss high and outside as well. So that's going to... It's going to be 3-1 now is the count, 3-1. And that is ball number 4. So Boyle reaches on a walk, and that brings up Jimenez to the plate. And now Chavez is on deck, and number 16, Carissa Garcia, your first baseman, is in the hole. So Lefevre is behind the plate. Lopez on the mound. Set the rest of the field for you presently. So the first pitch is in, and it's a ball. 1-0 the count now. Just a little bit high as well, although Lopez seems to be bringing it back over the plate a little bit, having a little trouble finding the zone. She seems to be maybe zoning in on it a bit now. So 2-0 the count. And that's going to stay up for ball number 3. So 3-0 is the count. No outs, 1 runner on. Boyle reached on the walk. Chavez on deck, Garcia in the hole. And that's going to be inside for ball 4. So 2 straight walks. Puts runners on first and second, and Chavez at the plate now. Garcia on deck, and Marissa Young. Marissa playing third base is in the hole. So another walk, another base runner. No score yet. Hobbs looking to bring those runners around and in. The first pitch is going to be a ball. So 1-0 the count. On this breezy afternoon, it's probably affecting us in the booth. Oh, good swing and a foul back to the screen. Evens the count at 1-1. I'd say that wind is blowing straight into the booth. So while it feels good, it's nice to have the air and not be stuffy and hot. but it is blowing my book around my pages. I need big rubber bands to hold this together, to remember that. And there's a hit straight away, although drifting back for it and catching that is going to be your second baseman for Clovis. That is Romero at second. So a soft line drive is the first out as scrambling back to first was Jimenez. There was a throw over just in case, but runners remain. One out now. One out, two on. And the first pitch is in, and it's a ball. 1-0 to Garcia. Garcia, the cleanup hitter for Hobbs. And that is right over the plate and right at the letters for call strike one. So 1-1 the count. One out, two on. Runners at first and second. A swing and a miss as Carissa chased one a little bit high, but it wasn't much higher than the ball before it that was called a strike. So Carissa may have been thinking, well, if it's going to be a strike, I may as well try to launch it. And she's certainly capable of that. That stays high. So 2-2 is your count. 2-2 the count on Garcia. Runners at first and second. Harrison on deck. Rodriguez in the hole. Oh, she launched that one straight over past the Clovis dugout, way in front of that one, and with authority. Count stays 2-2. Carissa with a lot of power at the bat. She's certainly capable of launching that ball out of here, or blistering it down either line, or sending it far out. And there she that run ran a little inside on her, but of course she's protecting the plate with two strikes, and she went ahead and fouled that off over to the left. So Hobbs really would like that power at the bat. With runners on, they need to get runs on the board. Don't want to leave them stranded. And that was a good one to hit. She just hit just slightly under that, spun it off out of play to the right. Count remains 2-2. She's hanging tough at the bat. One out, two on. Runners at first and second. They reached on walks. And that is going to run high and inside. Garcia ducks, and that runs the count full, 3-2. With one out, two on, full count. Garcia at the plate. Young on deck. Cameron Harrison in the hole for Hobbs. Oh, and that's going to hit her. Hit by pitch, as that got just a little out of the hand. It came out of the hand a little funky. I have a feeling Lopez was maybe trying to throw a curve and just got a little, turned her wrist just a little bit. So the bases are loaded now. Two walks and a hit by pitch, a hit batter. And that brings Marissa Young to the plate, left-handed batter. Looks at the first pitch, and it's a ball. So 1-0 the count on her. One out, two on. Three on, actually, now. Bases are loaded, as I said before. Two walks and a hit by pitch, and that is going to be just a little outside as well. So 2-0 the count now on Young. Just the one out. There is a force on any base. Wants to avoid hitting a ground ball to the infield. Try to get it out of the infield if she can. Nice, solid ground ball hit in the holes or out to the field. That is going to miss outside as well. So 3-1 is the count now, as there was a call strike as well in there. 3-1 the count. Young with bases loaded, golden opportunity here for Hobbs to put some. Oh, and she does get a piece of that, kind of on the end of her bat. Swung on it and fouled it off out of play. So count full. 3-2 on Young. Bases loaded, just one out. And a high fly ball. Well, it's going to be foul, out of play. So count remains 3-2 now as Young hanging tough. Maybe feeling the pressure a little bit with bases loaded, the desire to bring those runs in. But also, if it's a ball, she takes a walk and they walk one in. And it is a ball. It's high. And she takes her base, and it's actually an RBI walk. And it brings Boyle across the plate So Hobbs is on the board, 1 run to nothing. 1 out, base is still loaded now. And Cameron Harrison, your left fielder, to the plate. As you hear papers rustling, that's my book trying to blow away. All right, still just the 1 out. Base is loaded. Hobbs up 1 to nothing now here in the bottom of the first inning. In the top of the inning, they were very efficient. There were 4 batters up and 3 outs. So Harrison with 2 balls, no strikes now, and fouls that one off the end of the bat, out of play off to the right. So 2-1 the count. 1 out, bases loaded. Another opportunity. Hobbs really wants to get as many across as they can, and that's going to be a call strike on the inside corner. And yes, that was a good pitch, and she flinched on it. She thought about it. Let that go. Harrison with a 2-2 count now. That is going to miss high, ball 3. That brings the count full. Of course, a force on any base. Want to stay away from a double playable ball, if at all possible. And that's going to be inside for ball 4. And that's going to be an RBI walk as Jimenez crosses the plate. And Garcia goes to third, Young to second, and Harrison takes her base. Brings up to number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher, to the plate. Still just 1 out. Hobbs wants to milk this for all the runs they can get. Oh, and a swing and a good cut, a healthy one, but it fouls off into the screen for strike 1. Rodriguez is another player who has a lot of power at the bat and very capable of launching it. That is going to be high for ball 1. So 1-1 the count, 1 out. Bases loaded, bottom of the first. Hobbs up 2-0 over Clovis in the first of a doubleheader here. That's going to be outside for ball 2. Ball 2, 2-1 now. That is going to float up high as well, 3-1 the count. Three and 1 the count. 1 out, bases loaded. Oh, great ball to hit, and she does get a piece of it. Fouled it back. Count 3-2. So full count. 1 out, bases loaded. Oh, and that floats up just a little high. Rodriguez gave it a look, lets it go, and takes her base. Another RBI walk. And Garcia, who was hit by a pitch, crosses the plate. Young moving to third, Harrison moving to second. Now number 10, Candace Harrison, your shortstop, up to the plate for Hobbs. And while it's tempting, you want to see. I'm waiting for a Lady Eagle to just rip into the ball like that. A great line drive shot out to left field is going to score 1. It'll score 2, and a slide into third safely. So Young crosses, Harrison crosses, Rodriguez. Well, the courtesy runner for Rodriguez as the catcher. She always has a courtesy runner. And her courtesy runner slid in safely to third, and Candace Harrison ended up on second. Still just the 1 out, and the first pitch on your 9th batter, number 4, Allison Garcia, is a ball, so 1-0 the count. After the 2 RBI double by Candace Harrison, runners on second and third. Harrison a swing and a miss, or Garcia rather, a swing and a miss. So 1-2 is the count now. And that's it. That's a strikeout for the second out. That is just the first strikeout for Lopez on the mound. And that's going to bring up the top of the order again as the Lady Eagles bat it around. Oh, and a slamming single, a hot one up the center is going to score 2. Score both of those runners, one from second, one from third, and it's a 2 RBI single for Kaya Boyle, who smacked that ball. Solid shot up the middle. 2 RBI single. So the courtesy runner for Rodriguez scored. Harrison scored. Boyle's on first. 2 outs. And the first pitch was a strike. And the next pitch is a ball. So that evens the count up 1-1 on Jimenez. Mariah Jimenez, your right fielder for Hobbs. 2 outs, 1 on. And that floats up high and outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. The Lady Eagles have batted around, starting now twice into the lineup. Here, Jimenez walked her first time up. That's going to be a call strike. So 0-2, or rather 2-2 now. So 2 outs, 2-2 the count. A runner on first, and a swing and a miss has got her. And that is the second strikeout for Lopez, and that ends the at-bat for the Lady Eagles, but not before they put on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs on the board. My one looked like a 7. I apologize for that, but it is 7 now, 7-0, as the Lady Eagles were able to bat around and go too deep the second time, put 7 runs on. And that came with only 2 hits, 7 runs out of 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. So we're going to go to the top of the second inning as the Hobbs Lady Eagles lead this one 7-0. Clovis coming up to the plate. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in their lineup. More Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who've provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Is your cost of rent through the roof? It might make sense to buy a home instead. If you're still renting and never thought you could afford a home, right now you may want to call your friends at Robinson & Associates. Robinson & Associates offers free consultations in English and in Spanish. Robinson & Associates want to guide you through the entire process and make it as simple as possible. Call Robinson & Associates today at 392-0266. That's 575-392-0266. Call Robinson & Associates today and let them earn your trust.
And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagle Softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com as we go to the top of the second inning. And it is Shalonda Lefevre up to the plate. Second pitch is in. And that's ball number 2. So 2-0 on Lefevre. Top of the second. Batters 5, 6, and 7 in the lineup for Clovis. Lefevre at the plate, Gutierrez on deck, and Dominguez in the hole. A swing and a little grounder over to third base. Marissa Young comes over, fields that, makes a nice throw, and out number 1, 5-3 on the third pitch of the at-bat. First out, and that brings up number 5, Brianna Gutierrez, the center fielder, up to the plate. So 1 out, nobody on. Gutierrez at the plate, first plate appearance. Hobbs is leading this one 7-0. A swing and a foul back to the screen, a healthy cut by Gutierrez for strike 1. So 0-1 the count now. Dominguez on deck, and then number 17, Maddie Cushing, the first baseman, in the hole if it gets that far. Hobbs would like to be efficient, get 3 up, 3 down if they can. A swing and a foul back, so 2 fouls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the second inning. Clovis trailing. They're wanting to get base runners and try to get some runs on the board. That is going to hit the outside corner, a beautiful pitch, and she goes down looking. So Gutierrez becomes the, let's see, second strikeout for Bennett this afternoon. That's going to bring up Dominguez, the left fielder, to the plate with 2 outs now. Nobody on. There were 4 batters up and 3 down in the first at-bat for Clovis. Swing and a little chopper again to third. Young comes in on it, stops it, makes a beautiful throw. Good catch by Garcia in the stretch, and that's the 3rd out. So 3 up, 3 down. Score that one 5-3 in the book. 2 5-3. Nice plays at third base by Young. 3rd to 1st. And that means no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. 7-0. Hobbs leading. More Lady Eagle softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat, and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app, create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit onlinelcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC.
And welcome back to Lady Eagles softball. Here we are in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So Hobbs Lady Eagles coming back up to the plate. They put 7 runs across in their first at-bat. They used only 2 hits doing that. That's because there were 5 walks and a hit batter. And Chavez at the plate, cutting at the first one, fouling it off for strike number 1. So 0-1 the count. Bottom of the 2nd, 7-0 your score. Chavez playing center field for Hobbs. Big, nice high pop fly coming at under is Romero at second base. She has to drift out into shallow right for it, really follow it in the wind. She catches it, hangs on to it. So a pop out, high fly pop to the second baseman is the first out for Hobbs. Coming up, number 16, Carissa Garcia batting in the 4th slot for Hobbs, playing first base. She was hit by a pitch and crossed the plate her first time up. That's going to be high for ball 1, but that a little pop in the glove on that. So in the bottom of the 2nd here, 1 out, nobody on. Swing and a high fly ball coming under it is your third baseman looking to catch it. She does and hang on to it. So that is Siha over there at third base. And again, looking so Siha, I think that is her name. That's the closest I can come to reading the coach's the coach is scribbling for their team, their coach. So a pop out to third baseman, 2nd out, and that brings up number 8, Marissa Young, to the plate, your third baseman for Hobbs. She walked, had an RBI walk, and crossed the plate herself in her first at bat. And count on her is 2-0. 2-0. 2 outs. So Hobbs is in danger of a 3-up, 3-down at bat themselves. They'd like to get a 2-out rally going here, and Young is one of the batters who can certainly do that for them. That's going to be a count of 3-1 now. So 3-1 on Young. Oh, a smack. Is that headed out of the park? It is. It is. It's over the fence in left center, right near the flagpole. And that's going to be a solo home run for Young. Whoa, that was a nice one. You could hear that off the bat, how solid that was and soared. And I don't think that really had any help. It didn't need any help from the wind on that one. A solo home run makes it 8-0 for Hobbs. She did that with a 3-1 count on her. Saw one that she could launch, and I had just finished saying that Young was one of the batters that could keep this inning going, get a two-out rally going. She was capable of that, and she smacked that right over the fence. So nice to see that solo homer. 8-0. Hobbs firmly in control of this one, but they've got to continue to keep focused, keep the pressure on. Number 7, Cameron Harrison, playing in left field, coming up to the plate. She walked, had an RBI walk, and ended up crossing the plate herself. Hits at the first pitch she sees and sends it foul out of play to the right for strike one. So 2 outs, nobody on. Harrison at the plate, Rodriguez on deck, and Candace Harrison in the hole. Harrison, the 4th batter up in this at-bat in the bottom of the 2nd for Hobbs. That's going to hang up high for ball 1. Even things up 1-1. 2 outs. First of a doubleheader this afternoon. District games. Hobbs 2-0 in district. They'd like to increase that. That's going to hang up high as well. High and outside for ball 2. Right now, Hobbs at 8-8, exactly 50% or 500 on the season. And that is going to be high for ball 3. So 3-1 the count now. Hobbs, the Lady Eagles, by the way, ranked 12th in 5A in the state right now. And there's a swing and a foul off, a grounder over toward the Clovis dugout for strike 2. So that'll run the count full. Full count now. Cameron Harrison. Up next for Hobbs after tonight will be a doubleheader at Carlsbad. Carlsbad, always a tough team. Swing and a high fly ball is going to be out of play off to the right. LaFever threw off her mask, thought she might have a play at that, but saw quickly that it was out of play. So count remains full. It's Harrison fighting off pitches here. Staying at the plate, hanging tough. A swing and a high pop again. A catcher, LaFever, coming up under it and plays the sun and the wind, hangs on to it for out number 3. So a pop out to position 2 for the 3rd out. Hobbs scores 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on base. So we're going to go to the top of the 3rd inning. Hobbs leading this one 8-0. We'll be back. It's going to be Clovis coming up to the bat. I was just talking about Carlsbad next Tuesday. I've got that on my brain. But Clovis coming up to the plate next, top of the 3rd, with more Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who've provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Is your cost of rent through the roof? It might make sense to buy a home instead. If you're still renting and never thought you could afford a home, right now you may want to call your friends at Robinson & Associates. Robinson & Associates offers free consultations in English and in Spanish. Robinson & Associates want to guide you through the entire process and make it as simple as possible. Call Robinson & Associates today at 392-0266. That's 575-392-0266. Call Robinson & Associates today and let them earn your trust.
And welcome back to Lady Eagles softball. As your first batter up is Maddie Cushing, your first baseman, left-handed batter. And she just hit one a foul out of play off to the left to even the count at 1-1. And a good pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. So 0-2 the count. No outs, nobody on. Top of the third. And this is Maddie Cushing's first plate appearance. As swing and a high fly ball headed to shortstop, and Candace Harrison moves back a couple of steps and grabs that one, hangs on to it. So a fly out to the shortstop for the first out, and now we go to the 9th batter as Clovis is only carrying 11 on their roster and 2 in reserve, and they have no designated player or hitter. So number 4, Carolina Chacon, the right fielder, up at the plate. And the first pitch is going to be high and outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the order for Clovis. That is, I'm not sure what was wrong with that. I assume that was maybe a little low and a little outside. So that is going to be ball number 2. Kind of a little softer, a bit of a change up that Bennett threw. Bennett in the circle for Hobbs. Rodriguez behind the plate. That was a beautiful pitch right down the pike. Oh, yes, call, strike 1. So 2-1 the count, 1 out. Nobody on. Hobbs is winning this one 8-0 here in the top of the third. Swing and a miss. And it's a strikeout. Oh, no, 2-2. Sorry, my bad. And I've got it clearly as 2-2. I just got anxious. I wanted for Bennett to have that strikeout. It's not yet. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe that's a prophecy. We'll see. And that's a call. Strike 3. There it is. Okay. So there it goes. And that was a beautiful pitch. And she brought some heat and a little late breaking action right over the outside of the plate. Beautiful pitch. And that is actually the, let's see, 1, 2, the third strikeout for Bennett. 2 outs, nobody on. And now back to the top of the order for Clovis, Michaela Romero. And that's a beautiful pitch just across the inside of the plate, a medium speed pitch. And Romero looked at that, let it go for strike 1. So 1 out, or 2 outs now, nobody on, 0-1 count on top of the order, Romero. Sija on deck, Romero in the hole. If it goes that far, Hobbs would like for it not to get that far. That's a ball, so evens the count, 1-1. Let's see, Romero had a fly out to left field her first time up. She's capable, certainly, of putting some power into that. And that's going to be a little foul, a little kind of a pop foul that spun right back. So no, off to the left too much. Rodriguez got right up on it, but there was no room and no time to grab that before it fell. So just count remains 1-2. The wind has died down momentarily, but it's been gusting. And she swats that one a pop as Rodriguez comes under it, calls for it, doesn't even have to flip her mask off, and gets it about halfway down the third base line. So a nice pop out to the catcher for the third out. That's 3 up, 3 down. No runs, on no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And that ends the top of the third. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
First American Bank believes success comes from building personal, long-lasting relationships that are built on mutual trust. We take a consultative-driven approach to get to know you and your business. We offer a wide array of banking and digital solutions, plus more than a century of local experience. So, with First American Bank as your trusted partner, when you succeed, we do too. Find out how we can get it done for you. First American Bank, local first since 1903. Member FDIC.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagle Softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan, and in the top of the third inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. So we go to the bottom of the third, and it is the bottom of the order, 7, 8, and 9 due up for Hobbs. Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher, up to the plate. Left-handed batter, watches one come in. It's going to stay outside for ball number 1. So let me get my score bug caught up here. Indicate 3 outs there for the top of the third. Now we're in the bottom of the third, and we start fresh. No outs and 2 balls, no strike. The count now on Rodriguez. She had an RBI walk, and her courtesy runner crossed the plate in that first at bat. This is her second plate appearance for Hobbs here in the bottom of the third. And 3 straight balls on her now, 3-0 the count. And that's going to be ball 4. So Rodriguez takes her base.
Number 10, Candace Harrison.
So that's another walk issued. I believe that is number, let's see, I believe that's number 6. And 1 hit batter as well. Ooh, first pitch launched out into deep left. Is it going to stay fair? It is. It'll hit the fence and bounce out. And Dominguez is going to have to run and catch it. And that is going to move Rodriguez all the way over to third, as Rodriguez doing her own running this time, I believe. Yes. And that Candace Harrison smacked the first ball she saw, and that was going to be a double to outfield. That was not an error out there. It was hard to see. That ball came off so hard from the fence that Dominguez was at the fence, and she had to scramble back, get it, and throw it in. So Harrison on second with that double. And up at the plate, there's a foul off out of play for the second strike on Allison Garcia. So 0-2 the count on Garcia with 2 on, no outs. And that's going to come in as a ball. 1-2 the count now on Garcia, your designated player. Struck out her first time to the plate. It's her second plate appearance. And that is going to be high for ball 2. So that'll even things up 2-2. So here we are in the bottom of the third inning with no outs, 2 runners on. And there's a high fly ball. It looks like it's headed foul. It is. It'll go out of play well off to the left. I tell you, Garcia was anxious and really in front of that one. Count remains 2-2. She gave it a ride. If she could straighten that out. 3-2 the count, full now on Garcia, who's going to want to try to bring those runners in. No outs. Another opportunity for Hobbs to add to their score, and a high fly when it may be out of the park. It may be over, and it's gone. It is gone. Is it fair? It is fair. It is fair, and that's the ball game. No, it's not though. It's 15 after. No, it counts. So it's not the ball game. I thought the way they were gathering, I thought they were coming out thinking they'd won, but they were just saying and congratulating their teammate for hitting a 3-run home run. A 3-run homer brings Rodriguez and Harrison in, and Allison Garcia crosses the plate. 3 more runs, and that makes it 11-0 now here in the bottom of the third. That's going to be low and inside for ball 1. Top of the order now as Boyle back to the plate. Still no outs. And that's going to be ball number 2. So 2-0 the count now on Boyle, top of the order for Hobbs. She had a 2 RBI single her last time up, walked and scored her first time up. 3 straight balls to Boyle. 3-0, no outs, nobody on now after that base-clearing home run. And that is going to hit the inside corner for call strike 1 as take sign was on. Hobbs actually would like to increase their lead. If they could get 4 more runs on the board, this game would be over with the 15-run rule after 3 innings. Boyle works the walk and takes first base. Still no outs, and now number 5, Mariah Jimenez, your right fielder, up to the plate. She struck out her last time up, walked and scored a run her first time up. This is her 3rd plate appearance, and she has Boyle, the base runner, over on first with no outs. Oh, and that's a good pitch on the inside corner. Yes, call strike.
Now batting number 6, Angel Jimenez.
Oh, number 6. Okay, we have a substitute batter. Number 6, Angel Jimenez. I'll make a note on that. Mariah, okay, not Angel Jimenez, in place of Mariah Jimenez. So Jimenez up to the plate, 0-1 count. Now she fouls that one off over to the right near the Hobbs dugout for strike number 2. So 0-2 the count now. With your score 11-0, Coach Dean Crossland using the opportunity to let some of his bench players get some game time, see some time at the plate. A swing and a ball that's going to end up going fair, a little further than that first one, but it does go foul over on the right side. Count remains 0-2 as Angel Jimenez protecting the plate. Mariah Jimenez, the normal batter in this slot, struck out her last time up, walked her first time. Swing and a high fly ball headed over towards second base. Coming up under it is Michaela Romero making the grab and hangs onto it for out number 1. So a fly out to second base, fly out to position 4 in the book is going to bring up, this is another Yaraceli. This is Yaraceli Medina. This is another substitute batter. I'm just going to make a note of this. Yaraceli Medina, coaches under the current rules in softball, like them or not, and many people do like them, but it's a change. The substitutions freely at the bat, and it does not mean that they have to go in and then in the field. It's a little fly out to first base as Cushing doesn't have to move much, catches it right in front of the bag. So Medina, cutting at the first pitch she sees, flies out to the first baseman. And that is going to bring up number 9, Cameron Bennett, to the plate. So again, with an 11-0 lead, Coach Crossland using some substitute batters here off of the bench. First pitch is going to be high and outside for ball 1. So 2 outs now. 2 outs, a runner on first. 11-0 your score. Oh, and a nice cut. And that may be a little Texas leaguer. It could be trouble. Nope, it's going to go foul, as it looked like it was headed fair, but it drifted over, tailed off, and just becomes a strike. 1-1. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, a runner on first for Hobbs. That is Kaya Boyle, your leadoff hitter, I believe. And a nice chop at that, but goes foul off to the right for strike 2. So out of play off to the right for substitute batter Cameron Bennett in place of Carissa Garcia, who plays first, and that's going to be a ball. Even up the count, 2-2. 2 outs, 2-2. Runner on first. Hobbs leading this one 11-0. If they were to score 4 more runs in this at bat, that would end the game. It's 15 runs or more after 3 innings, or 10 runs or more after 5. So if Hobbs could keep the line running and moving, even with 2 outs, it would be to their advantage. So 2-2 count out of the timeout. Coach Crossland wanting to talk with the batter. That's going to be low and inside. So that'll run the count full now, 3-2. Bennett at the plate. Young On deck, Harrison in the hole. Oh, a line drive shot out in between center and left. And that is Gutierrez fielding that, making the throw in. So it was a nice stop and a good throw, and it's going to hold the runner on at third. So Boyle hangs up at third, and a nice stand-up double for Cameron Bennett. Puts her on second in scoring position with Boyle at third. 2 outs. And that's number 17, Hannah Granillo, batting in place of Marissa Young. So Hannah Granillo, your substitute batter. And the first pitch is in and a strike. And that is going to hang up just a little high and even things up at 1-1. So 1-1. Bottom of the third inning, 2 outs, 2 on. That's going to be high for ball 3, high and away, or ball 2 rather. So 2-1 your count now. Third pitch to her, but 2-1 the count. Oh, and that is going to be inside. It almost hit her. Almost. It just kind of brushed by her left leg. So count is full on Granillo. And that's going to hang up and stay high for ball number 4. So Granillo takes first base, and that loads him up. So 2 outs, bases loaded, and that brings up Cameron Harrison to the plate, batting in the 6th slot, and she is your regularly scheduled batter. So Harrison in left field for the Lady Eagles. First pitch is in, and it's a ball. And that's a call strike, so 1-1 the count. 2 outs, bases loaded. Hobbs would like to do some more damage here. They've had substitute batters for the first 4 batters up in this at-bat. That's going to hang up high and outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count now on Harrison. She popped out to the catcher her last time up. Had an RBI walk her first time up. That's going to remain high. 3-1 the count now. Bases loaded. And there have been 3 runs walked in this, and that's a grounder. It's going to find its way past third base into left field. Score 1, score 2, and a pass ball on the throw is going to move the runners around 1 extra base, but not before Hobbs puts 2 across. So Boyle crossed the plate. Bennett crossed the plate. And Granillo sits on third, and Harrison is on second. So a 2 RBI single. She moved to second on the throw, so it was not a double. And that brings up, supposed to be Anaya Rodriguez, but it's not. It's going to be another substitute batter. That's number 15, Alexis Martinez. And Hobbs has batted around now here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Batting in place of Anaya Rodriguez, the catcher, is Alexis Martinez. 2 outs, runners on second and third. And Alexis Martinez with a 2-1 count. Now that's a 3-1 count on her. 3-1 count, 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd inning. Hobbs is now ahead 13-0. And that's going to be outside for ball 4. So Alexis Martinez takes her place, and that loads the bases up. Not a bad thing for Clovis at this point, because they've got Hobbs has got 2 outs on him, and there's a force on any base now. But 2 more runs across the plate will end this game. Hobbs is ahead 13-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. They've got bases loaded. 2 more runs in, ends this game, and that's what they would like to do here, is get this one over, count it a 15-0 win, and move on to the 2nd of this doubleheader. But they do have to get those runs across, and if Clovis can get the 3rd out and keep Hobbs from scoring, Clovis will get a chance to come back up to the bat. So Still 2 outs. And that is number 10, Candace Harrison, coming up to the plate. Bases loaded. Got a Neo on third. Cameron Harrison on second after her RBI single. And now Candace Harrison at the plate. Swing and a high fly ball I think is going to be foul. Chasing it, well, it goes out of play. But both Chacon and Romero chasing it out there, giving it a little bit of a chase. But out of play for strike one. And that's going to even things up. 1-1 now. 2 outs, bases loaded. Hobbs leading this one 13-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Oh, and that's going to be high. Oh, no, it's going to be right. It's going to be just right at the letters on the outside corner for call, strike 2. And that was one of those I kind of wanted to reach out and swat that for. Oh, and there is a launches one. It could be over the fence. Is it? Is it? It is gone, and this game is over as a grand slam home run by Candace Harrison cleans the bases off and makes it 17-0. And Hobbs has won this one, run ruling Clovis in the first of a doubleheader, 17-0. So a grand slam home run by Candace Harrison seals the deal and the win for the Hobbs Lady Eagles in the first of a doubleheader, district doubleheader this afternoon. We'll take a break, be back to wrap this game up, and take a break before the next game. We're here with more Lady Eagle softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
First America Bank believes success comes from building personal, long-lasting relationships that are built on mutual trust. We take a consultative-driven approach to get to know you and your business. We offer a wide array of banking and digital solutions, plus more than a century of local experience. So, with First American Bank as your trusted partner, when you succeed, we do too. Find out how we can get it done for you. First American Bank, local first since 1903. Member FDIC.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Just call us if it's a ride you like. We'll take you there and bring you back.
Hobbs Express provides bus service throughout Hobbs. The bus system operates Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 7 to 4. Hobbs Express has an immediate opening for a CDL bus driver, offering great pay and benefits. Apply online at hobbsnm.org or call 397-9230 for more information. When you need transportation anywhere around Hobbs, think of Hobbs Express. Hobbs Express, 397-9290.
The team of Hobbs Rental Valve Services is proud to support the Eagles in sports and academics. Hobbs Rental provides competitive valve services, relief valve, vent valve, and thief hatch maintenance. PR certified and ISN approved. When you need the job done right the first time, call Hobbs Rental Valve Service 393-3085, 393-3085. Hobbs Rental Valve Service, 814 West Marland, is a proud supporter of Lee County Athletics. Go Eagles!
First America Bank believes success comes from building personal, long-lasting relationships that are built on mutual trust. We take a consultative-driven approach to get to know you and your business. We offer a wide array of banking and digital solutions, plus more than a century of local experience. So, with First American Bank as your trusted partner, when you succeed, we do too. Find out how we can get it done for you. First American Bank, local first since 1903. Member FDIC.
Just call us if it's a ride you like. We'll take you there and bring you back.
Hobbs Express provides bus service throughout Hobbs. The bus system operates Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 7 to 4. Hobbs Express has an immediate opening for a CDL bus driver, offering great pay and benefits. Apply online at hobbsnm.org or call 397-9230 for more information. When you need transportation anywhere around Hobbs, think of Hobbs Express. Hobbs Express, 397-9290.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app, create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit onlinelcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC. NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who've provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Is your cost of rent through the roof? It might make sense to buy a home instead. If you're still renting and never thought you could afford a home, right now you may want to call your friends at Robinson & Associates. Robinson & Associates offers free consultations in English and in Spanish. Robinson & Associates want to guide you through the entire process and make it as simple as possible. Call Robinson & Associates today at 392-0266. That's 575-392-0266. Call Robinson & Associates today and let them earn your trust.
And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball, as a grand slam home run by Candace Harrison gave the Lady Eagles a walk-off 17-0 win in the bottom of the third inning here at Hobbs softball field. So here's how we got there, that 17-0 score. Clovis had no runs on one hit. They were left one on base. They committed no errors, but they only put up 10 batters, as Bennett had 3 strikeouts, no walks. She only faced 10 batters in a one-hit shutout. For Hobbs, they had 17 runs on 8 hits. They committed no errors. They only left one runner on base, and they now improved to 9-8 on the season, 3-0 in district, and the second of this doubleheader will come up here in about 20 minutes or so from now. So we will have a break between the games, and we'll be back with the second of this doubleheader, as a pretty efficient work for Hobbs with a lot of firepower at the bat. Of course, there were a lot of walks issued, as Lopez, the losing pitcher, walked 9, struck out 2, hit 1 batter in the loss. A 17-0 win, a one-hit shutout for Hobbs, and Hobbs also had 2 home runs in that game. They certainly took the walks when they got them, but they were also able to have some pretty good timely hitting as well. So there was a Candace Harrison with a 2 RBI double, a double, and then the grand slam homer. She went 3 for 3 today and crossed the plate 3 times for herself. And then Allison Garcia had a 3-run homer in that bottom of the third as well, and then had 1 strikeout, struck out once. Also hitting for Hobbs, Boyle had a 2 RBI single, and let's see, that was Cameron Bennett with a double. and scored, and Cameron Harrison with a 2 RBI single in the bottom of the third as well. And Candace Harrison. So that's all of your major hitting for Hobbs with those 8 hits. So nice play by Hobbs, pretty efficient. And we'll be back. They have this 17-0 walk-off win, a 1-hit shutout for Bennett and the Hobbs Lady Eagles. And the next game of this doubleheader against Clovis coming up here in just a few minutes. So thanks again to all of our sponsors, and keep watching and listening. We will have that second game coming up, I would guess, in about 20 minutes or so here from Hobbs, the ball field here on East Sanger. I'm Dawn Morgan. We'll have more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball coming up on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Congratulations to Coach Crossland and the Lady Eagles on this win, and looking forward to that second game. Welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan here with the second of a doubleheader tonight. The first was a 17-0 walk-off one-hit shutout for Bennett and the Hobbs Lady Eagles, putting them now at 9-8 on the season and 3-0 in district. And we are starting, just about ready to start the second of this doubleheader. And it will be your visiting Clovis Lady Wildcats up to the plate. And number 1 will be Michaela Romero, your center fielder. Number 2, Giselle Romero, will await on deck. Number 5, Brianna Gutierrez, your right fielder, in the hole. Your battery for Hobbs is Medina, Yaraceli Medina on the mound. And catching, we have a new catcher as well for Hobbs in this game. It's Alexis Martinez. We'll set the rest of the field here in just a moment. But Romero is up to the plate to try to start things off for Clovis. And the first pitch is going to catch the inside corner for call strike 1. So 0-1 the count. We're off and running in this second game, as it's Garcia on first, Boyle at second, Candace Harrison at shortstop, Young at third. And a swing and a little chopper over to Young at third. She stops it, throws to first, and makes the first out. Pretty efficient on just the second pitch that Romero saw. She grounds out 5-3 for the first out. Nice play again. Young had a couple of grounders that she handled in that first game as well. And Garcia at first hanging on to those hot throws. Romero at shortstop coming up to the plate now with 1 out. Swing and a miss as Medina bringing the speed, bringing the heat, a little riser. Good pop in the glove. 0-1 the count now. Romero, 1 out, nobody on. Gutierrez on deck and Marissa Lopez in the hole. Swing and a miss, strike 2. As Medina looking already, she looks not just warmed up, but looks to be hitting the zone. Hot to start this second game. That is going to be a little outside for ball 1. A little bit of a curve that got curved too much outside. 1-2 the count, still way ahead of this batter. 1 out, nobody on. A nice inside pitch brought the heat, and a nice little movement over the inside corner. Swing and a miss for second out. It's strikeout number 1 for Medina. And Romero swinging, but way late on that one. So 2 outs now. And Gutierrez, your right fielder, up to the plate for Clovis. That's going to hang up high and outside for ball 1 on Gutierrez. So 2 outs. Nobody on. Hobbs winning the first of the doubleheader 17-0. Swing and a miss as a beautiful pitch. Right up kind of at the letters. Another rising fastball. Evens the count 1-1. Medina looking very on this afternoon. That's going to catch the low end of the zone. She took a little speed off of that, but still found it right over the plate. So call strike 2, 1-2 the count. Third batter up in this at bat for Clovis. Top of the first in the second of this doubleheader. And that is going to be a swing and a miss as well. So 2 strikeouts and a ground out. End the at-bat for Clovis. 3 up, 3 down. Very efficient. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Hobbs coming up to the bat, and we'll have more Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank, and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app. create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit onlinelcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC.
And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan, and in the top of the first inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. So after 3 up, 3 down with for Clovis, now Hobbs gets their chance at the bat, and your leadoff batter is number 13, Kaya Boyle, your second baseman. On deck is number 10, Candace Harrison, your shortstop, and in the hole is number 1, Edith Chavez, your center fielder. Number 16, Carissa Garcia, is batting cleanup. She's your first baseman. Number 8, Marissa Young, is playing third base, batting fifth. And Renteria is on the mound for Clovis. First pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. So bottom of the first inning. With a 1-0 count on Boyle. And that's going to be inside and high for ball number 2. So Renteria is on the mound. Lefevre is catching. Loves at first. Lopez at second. Giselle Romero at short. Silva, that was not Seha, but Silva at third. And that is going to be low and inside for ball number 3. So 3-0 the count on Boyle. Boyle had, Boyle was 2 for 3. She had 2 walks and an RBI single in the first game earlier this afternoon. And 4 straight balls means Boyle takes first base. That brings up Candace Harrison to the plate. Chavez now on deck and Garcia in the hole. No outs, 1 on. No score in this one yet. Bottom of the first. A swing and a foul back to the screen. So 0-1 the count on Harrison at the first game this afternoon. And let's see, Candace Harrison was 3 for 3. She had a 2 RBI double, a double, and a grand slam homer. And a throw down to second as Boyle slides safely in. So a stolen base for the speedy Kaya puts her on second base and in scoring position for Hobbs. And that was strike number 2 on Candace Harrison. 0-2 the count. Runner on second, no outs. Bottom of the first inning. And the throw comes into third base, and Candace will advance on the throw. So it really is a single for Harrison. She makes it to second, but really on the throw over to third. And that does get Boyle over to third base, and Harrison in scoring position on second. Edith Chavez to the plate. No outs. 2 on. Here we go. That's going to be a little inside and low for ball number 1. So 1-0 the count on Chavez. No outs. Runners at second and third for Hobbs. They would like to keep the line moving here. Keep their bats smoking hot. They had excellent offense in the first game, although they worked a lot of walks. They were smart at the plate. They took the walks when they were there, but when they got hittable balls, they certainly were hitting. I believe there were 3 home runs in that game. So 2-0 the count now, and the third pitch fouled off to the screen, off to the right for strike 1. So 2-1 the count now, no outs. Runners on second and third. Hobbs anxious to bring them in. Hobbs only left 1 runner on base in that first game, and that's excellent. You don't want to leave too many on. Beautiful pitch, line drive out to between right and center is going to bounce at the fence. It'll score 2, and coming into second base safely. Ooh, that was close though. Chavez, the throw in was pretty good from center field, and Michaela Romero played that off of the fence pretty well. But a well-hit ball is a 2 RBI double for Edith Chavez. Puts her in scoring position and gives Hobbs the 2-0 lead. So 2-0, fresh batter And that ball is going to hang up in the dirt. I would say the dirt, but it's an artificial surface. But Lefevre had trouble coming up with that, and Chavez is going to make it over to third. And that's going to be ball 1 on Carissa Garcia. Right-handed batter, very capable. And that's going to hang up high and outside. Garcia flinched on it. I think she was very tempted to swat at that one. It was just a medium speed pitch. And let's see, Garcia actually was hit by a batter. She hit a double and scored, hit by a pitch and scored. Oh, and there's a high fly ball. It's going to go out of play off to the left and just be a long strike. So 2-1 the count now. 2-1 on Carissa Garcia. She's the cleanup hitter for Hobbs, plays first base. By the way, let's see. The rest of you are out in field. I set the infield for Clovis. It's Gutierrez in left, Michaela Romero in center, and Dominguez in right for Clovis. Oh, a smack is going to go foul, as that was a well-hit ball, but she pulled it just a little too much, so that'll be strike number 2 and even up the count. 2-2 on Garcia, and she was disappointed too. As soon as that tailed off left, and she knew, she thought, so solid. That feels so good when you rip into one and you feel how solid that is, and you just hope up, and that's going to hit her. So it's going to be inside, hit her, and she'll take first base.
Number 8, Marissa Young.
So fresh batter, fresh count. As I try to get my score bug to cooperate there, and no outs. So Hobbs has scored 2 so far. Runners at first and third now. Marissa Young, your third baseman, and that's been a hot little box over there of activity for Hobbs in the previous game and this one so far. And Young has played well, as is her custom. First pitch comes in high and outside for ball 1. That is going to be low for ball 2, and Garcia takes second base on defensive indifference. Runners at second and third now. 2-0 the count on Marissa Young at the plate. There's a ball she can smash, and she does. A hot grounder finding its way between first and second out in right field. The throw comes in to the plate, not in time, as that's going to score 2 as Chavez crosses, and then Garcia slides in safely. And Marissa Young with a 2 RBI single. She had runners at second and third, needed to hit that ball into right field, and she did. That's exactly where she needed that to go to bring those runs in. And there's a cut and a foul ball back to the screen for strike 1. No outs still, and Hobbs has 4 on the board. 4-0 is your score here in the bottom of the first inning. 4-0 against Clovis. Number 15, Alexis Martinez, your catcher in this game, is up to the plate. Bats from the left. No outs, 1 on. And this pitch is going to miss the outside corner for ball 1. 1-1 the count. No outs, 1 runner on. 4 runs across so far for Hobbs. They lead this one 4-0. Second of a doubleheader here at the Hobbs softball field. And that's going to be low and outside, and the runner goes. The throw down to second is not in time as Giselle Romero, the shortstop, comes over, tries to put the tag, but Young sticks on base, does not give her an opportunity to tag her. So successful stolen base by Young puts her in scoring position. 2-1 the count. That's going to hang up high. Lefevre has to get up, climb the ladder to hang on to that one. Otherwise, I think Young would have been sitting on third base. 3-1 the count now. Martinez at the bat. Oh, and that's going to be inside for ball 4. Martinez will take the walk. Martinez catching this game. Rodriguez was your catcher in the first game and is normally your starting catcher for Hobbs. But Coach Crossland able to get some substitute batters in that last game, and now he's made some fielding changes to get some of his reserve players or bench players some good playing time. So ball number 4, runners at first and second now, and that brings up Anaya Rodriguez, your designated player, normally your catcher, and she is a very capable batter from the left side of the plate. That's going to be high and inside for ball number 1. 1-0. Still no outs, as Hobbs would like to just keep this moving and milk this for all the runs they can. Rodriguez looking for one she can launch. That comes in a pretty tasty pitch. It's just a little high, and his ball too. And Rodriguez looked at it, thought about it. But if she finds one that she thinks she can rip into, she certainly will. That's going to be a call, strike on the outside corner. So 2-1 the count now. Runners at first and second for Hobbs. That's Young out on second, and Martinez on first after the walk. That's going to be low, and that's going to get past Lefevre, and the runners will advance. As that was, I always have trouble calling a wild pitch or a pass ball, because sometimes even on a wild pitch the catcher can get a glove on it, but it might not have been a catchable ball. That ball was outside and in the dirt. And that's going to be a foul as Rodriguez ripped that down the left field third base line. But a foul ball just evens up the count, 2-2. No, it's 3-2 now as the count's full. As the runners now at second and third. On that, I will call it a wild pitch. It was in the dirt. That is going to be high and outside for ball 4, so Rodriguez takes her base. That brings up number 3, Kenzie Bennett, your right fielder. Bennett was the winning pitcher. She pitched a 1-hit shutout in that first game, 17-0 walk-off 3-inning run-ruled game. So Bennett up to the plate, no outs, bases loaded. Young on third, Martinez on second, Rodriguez on first. No, we have a courtesy runner, I think, for Rodriguez. Do we? Yeah. We have no, do we have a courtesy runner for Nope. That's Martinez, I guess. Rodriguez on first. And a high fly ball. Is it out of the park? Is it out? It is the second grand slam of the day. First of this game. And that is how you do it. Kenzie Bennett scoring a grand slam home run. Just like that. Hobbs is up 8-0. So a grand slam by Bennett cleans off the bases. Young comes in. Martinez, Rodriguez, which I think we had a courtesy runner for Rodriguez. And then Bennett. Wow. So here in the bottom of the first inning, already 8-0. Number 6, Angel Jimenez, your left fielder, coming up to the plate, batting in the 9th slot for Hobbs. Still no outs. Hobbs has achieved 8 runs on the board, no outs. And Jimenez at the bottom of the order up now, and that is going to be in the dirt for ball 1. Low and inside. 1-0. Here in the bottom of the first inning. After a 17-0 win in the first, Hobbs poised to win this second one. Nice shot out to right field. It's going to fall in fair territory. Dominguez, to her credit, makes a good play on that. She had no chance to really catch that, but she caught it just a one-hop bounce, and caught it and threw that in. But Jimenez with a nice Texas leaguer single sits on first. So now we go to the top of the order. Boyle back up to the plate. The Lady Eagles have batted around. Boyle walked. And that ball hangs up in Renteria's hands, goes to the backstop, and allows Jimenez to get to second base. So on the wild pitch, Jimenez sits on second now. in scoring position for Hobbs. Boyle back up to the plate. She walked, stole a base, ended up crossing the plate for Hobbs, her first time up. And that's going to be inside for ball 2. 2-0 the count now. No outs. A runner on second after that grand slam homer by Kinsey Bennett. Wow. Swing and a high fly ball into right field. Is that going to be right at the fence? It is. Dominguez having trouble catching that. I think the wind may have played with that just a little bit. So she did not catch that. Makes a pretty good throw in, but not in time to get Jimenez all the way in from second on that. And Kaya Boyle has an RBI double. I don't know that she could have hung on to that ball. I'm not going to score that as an error. I'm going to call that an RBI double. Swing and a little line drive shot right to third base as Silva put her hand out, moved over maybe a step to grab that, and that finally is the first out. So a little line drive shot to 5 for the first out. Boyle stays where she is on second base. And that brings up Edith Chavez, your center fielder, to the plate. She had an RBI double her first time up earlier in this inning, in this at-bat for Hobbs. And the first pitch comes in. It is going to be a ball. So 1-0 the count. 1 out, 1 runner on second base. Chavez with a 1-0 count. The lady, and that's going to hit her. Going to hit her in the left hip. She's going to take first base. So that brings up number 16, Carissa Garcia, your cleanup hitter. She was hit by a pitch and crossed the plate for Hobbs her last time up, which was earlier in this at-bat. It's her second plate appearance. Here we are still in the bottom of the first inning. Just 1 out. Garcia, a very capable hitter for Hobbs, up to the plate. That is going to be high for ball number 1. 1-0 the count on Garcia. Looking back at that first game, Garcia had a double, hit by pitch, and a fly out. So she was 2 for 3. And she chops that one foul off to the left for strike 1. So 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count. 1 out, 2 runners on. First and second for Hobbs. They have put 9 runs across the plate in this inning. It is 9-0. And a swing and a high fly ball. It'll stay fair. Hit just right in on the right side of the line, right at the fence. That's going to score 1. That's going to score 1 as the runners kind of had to wait and see, make sure it wasn't a catchable ball. So Boyle, let's see. Boyle comes in. No. Is that right? Oh, Boyle goes over to third. No, Carissa is on second, so. And Chavez is on third. So Carissa Garcia with an RBI double. That ball was just fair. It stayed fair, about a glove's width. And Marissa Young at the plate now. She launches one out between center and right, and that's going to go over the fence as Marissa Young has a 2-run home run. Too Young as she launches that one. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. And then 11, 12, 13. Yes, it is 13-0. As Hobbs has batted around almost twice. A 2-run home run brings up number 15, Alexis Martinez, your catcher, to the plate. So it is now 13-0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, just double checking my batters. And my runs, 13-0 is right here in this bottom of the first inning, just 1 out. Martinez up to the plate, and that's going to be a call strike on the outside corner. So 0-1 the count now on Martinez. She walked and scored a run for Hobbs, her first time up earlier in this at bat. It's her second plate appearance. So 13-0 your score here, and there is a little hit off the side of off the end of the bat, and it's going to hit the side of Romero's glove. Romero, your shortstop, coming over, stretching out about as far as she could get, and hit the very end of her glove. And I really think that is not an error. I think that is an infield single. I'm sure there's an argument to be made, but I think she stretched out as far as she could go, got her glove on the very end of it, and that's as far as she could go. So an infield single for Martinez. Puts her on after that clean off of the bases by Young. First hit is a high fly ball going out to left field, getting hung up by the wind. Now that's an error in left field as Gutierrez got a glove on it and then just let it go, and that is going to score 1. So, but it's an error. So Rodriguez reaches second. She reaches first on the error and comes into second on the throw. But an E7 puts her. Still, it's an error, but did score a runner. So 14-0 now for Hobbs. 14-0 your score. That is going to be high and outside for ball 1 on Bennett. Kenzie Bennett hit the grand slam homer her first time up at the plate earlier in this inning. And that is going to be ball number 1. So 1-0 the count now. 1 out. That ball is going to get past Lefevre, and that means Rodriguez is going to go over to third. So on the wild pitch. Although she got a glove on it, I do tend to call if the catcher could stop that, even if the pitch is in the dirt, I tend to call those a pass ball. That's going to be a call strike. And that is going to even things up at 1-1. So 1 out, 1 on, runner on third. 1-1 the count on Bennett. Back up to the plate, second plate appearance in this at bat for Hobbs. That is going to be outside for ball 2. Off-speed pitch, floating outside. 2-1 the count. 14-0 your score here in the second of a doubleheader. Hobbs won the first one 17-0 in 3 innings. Bennett watches that one, and 3-1 the count. I think she thought she thought she already had a 3-1 count. Started to take the walk. Realized that it's just now 3-1. So this pitch is going to be low and outside for ball 4. So she takes her base. And that's going to bring up number 6, Angel Jimenez, batting in that 9th slot for Hobbs, playing left field. She hit a single, advanced on a wild pitch, and ended up crossing the plate for Hobbs, her first time up. And with her, Hobbs is batting around twice in this at-bat. And the first pitch is going to catch the outside corner for call strike 1. So 0-1 the count, still 1 out. Runners at first and third for Hobbs. And that is going to be a little bit low for ball 1. That'll even up the count, 1-1. 14-0 your score. As the wind is gusty at times, it is relatively calm right now. Swing and a fly ball, a line drive is going to go over the fence and just stay fair. So that is another home run, and this is a 3-run home run for Angel Jimenez. That brings in Rodriguez. That brings in Bennett and Jimenez, and makes it 17-0 Hobbs. So Clovis really struggling in the first and now this second game. Just 1 out as the coach coming out to have a word with the girls. Renteria on the mound for Clovis. And you know, she has walked 1, 2. She has walked 4. She has 1, 2, 3, 4. She has 4 walks, but has not walked any in. But the Hobbs, the Lady Eagles, are hitting her. They really have her number. And Hobbs has just been smoking the ball against her. She's issued 4 walks and 1 hit by pitch. She has no strikeouts. And that is going to be inside as Kaya Boyle, leadoff hitter, comes back up to the plate for Hobbs. 1-0 the count. Still just 1 out. Oh, 16-0. I think I said 17-0. 16-0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. I've got 17, but I've got 17. And that pitch in on Boyle is going to be another ball. I've got and that is going to clip the inside corner for strike 1. I have a 2-1 count on her. It actually may be 3-1. I was busy counting runs and double checking. And there's a smack, a line drive shot, a hot one over the head of Romero at shortstop. Goes to the wall, and Gutierrez gets it in, throws it into second base, but Boyle has a stand-up double. And that's going to bring up Candace Harrison, your shortstop, up to the plate. Still just 1 out. This is the 3rd time through the order for Hobbs. This is still just the bottom of the 1st inning. Harrison to the plate, a swing, and fouls it back out of play off to the right for strike 1. So 17-0 is your score. A runner out on second base in scoring position for Hobbs. 1 out. And a little changeup. Renteria took something off of that, but it hung up high and inside for ball 1. So 1-1. Boyle, very speedy, good base runner, out on second for Hobbs. And there's a smoker down the third base line, but it goes foul. Harrison in front of that one. Solid shot, but strike 2. 1-2 the count. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 1st inning. And this is top of the order, the 2nd batter in. 3rd time around, and that's going to hang up high and outside for ball number 2. 2-2 the count. With Harrison at the plate, Chavez on deck, Garcia in the hole. And that's going to be a call, strike on the outside corner. And, I've got that as the 3rd. Yeah, I've got that as a strikeout. So I've got that as the 3rd strike. I do. So a strikeout is now the 2nd out in this inning. Yeah. The first strikeout for Renteria on the mound. And that's going to be a ground ball over the inside corner in the dirt. Lefevre blocking that out. Boyle would have been on 3rd for sure. She's got a lot of speed. So 2 outs now. And your count is 1-0 on this batter here in the bottom of the 1st. 17-0 is your score. So 2 outs now. Runner on second. Boyle out there in scoring position. Chavez at the plate. That's going to come high and inside. Oh, no. Yeah, this is Edith Chavez. She's a jersey number 1. So 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 count on Chavez. She just kind of watched that one. It was very inside. And that is going to be in the dirt for ball number 4.
Number 16. Carissa Garcia.
So a walk puts runners at 1st and 2nd now. Chavez on 1st, Boyle on 2nd, 2 outs. And Carissa Garcia, cleanup hitter to the plate. She had an RBI double and scored her last time up. First pitch is going to be inside and get away from Lefevre, but the runners stay put. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Hobbs with 17 runs across in their first at bat, the bottom of the first inning here. Oh, and that goes behind Carissa Garcia, but pops out from the backstop pretty quickly. Lefevre able to keep the runners there at first and second, not being very aggressive on the base paths now that Hobbs has such a lead. And that's going to hit her left shoulder. So Garcia hit by pitch. That's the second time that she's been hit by a pitch. She takes her base. So now the bases are loaded as Boyle moves to third. Chavez is on second. Garcia on first. And Young, nope, we're going to have a substitute batter. As
for the Lady Eagles, number 17, Hannah Granillo.
Yes, this is number 17. Hannah Granillo is your batter in place of Young, as Hobbs with such a big lead, able to, Coach Crosland working some substitute batters from off the bench. That's going to catch the outside corner call, strike 1 on Granillo. Granillo had a 2-run homer, and the Young had the 2-run homer and the 2 RBI single earlier, but Granillo did bat in the last game. She fouls that one off out of play to the right for strike 2. So 0-2 the count now on Granillo with 2 outs, bases loaded. It would be even with all of these runs across the plate, it still hurts to leave bases loaded. So Young staying tough, protecting the plate, fouls that one off to the right for, again, count remains 0-2. No matter how many runs you score, when you have bases loaded, it just feels so wrong to leave any on. So let's hope Granillo maybe can just bring some in, bring them around. And she does hit a line drive shot. It's going to hit the fence between left and center. That'll score 1. That'll score 2. Rounding the base and heading for home. That'll score 3. So it's going to be a 3 RBI double for Granillo. And that was done on an 0-2 count. So still just 2 outs. And that scores 3 more runs for Hobbs. Makes it 20-0 now. 2 outs. And the first pitch in, I believe that we have a substitute batter. As that pitch is going to be low and outside. And even things up at 1-1. So, yeah, let me see. Alexis Martinez, is this still? And that is going to be high for ball number 2. Yeah, I believe this is Martinez. So, ball 2, 2-1 the count. 1 runner on. It's going to be outside for ball number 3, and it's going to get past Lefevre. But Granillo stays put on second. So 3-1 the count. 2 outs, 1 runner on. Hobbs winning this one 20-0 here in the bottom of the first. And a high fly ball off to the left. It's going to go out of play. And that is going to be... It's going to run the count full. That'll be the second strike. And full count on Martinez now. Full count, 2 outs, runner on second. And a line drive shot out into left field. And Gutierrez is going to muff that. It's going to go to the fence. She's going to throw it in, hit the cutoff at shortstop, and it will score 1. So Granillo comes in from second, and it's an RBI single. Really, there was an error just as it came off the fence. really mostly just how she played that and threw it in. So Martinez with an RBI single and moved over to second on the throw. And there's a nice hit up the middle, and that's going to score one. A throw coming in to the circle, cut off by the pitcher, Renteria. That will score Martinez. So Rodriguez with an RBI single brings up Bennett to the plate now. So still 2 outs, 1 on. And it's now 22-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Kenzie Bennett up to the plate. She had a grand slam home run, a grand slammer, her first time up this inning. Walked and scored her second time up. Oh, and that's going to hit her. So a hit by pitch is going to put Bennett on base, and that's going to move Rodriguez over to second. So runners at first and second now brings up number 6, Angel Jimenez in left field. 2 outs, 2 on. Runners at first and second. 22-0 as this has just Clovis really struggling with their pitching and as a team. Jimenez watches the first one come in. It's going to be inside for ball number 1. 2 outs, 2 on. 22-0. And that is going to be a shot out to right field. And Dominguez comes in on it but can't get to it. And that is going to score 1 and put runners at second and third. Nope, she's going to come on in. That'll score 2. Kenzie Bennett crosses the plate as well. So that it wasn't an error. She didn't get a glove on it. It was beyond her in right field, but it went past her to the fence, and then the center fielder Romero had to come in and make the throw in. So it was a 2 RBI double for Jimenez, and it brings in 2 more runs, makes it 24. And there's a ground ball to shortstop, picked up and thrown out. Romero over to Love, and finally, I don't think I've ever seen an at-bat go all the way around. A team batted 3 runs around, and then finally, or three times around, and then finally, from 6-3, by Boyle thrown out at first base for the 3rd out, and that ends the at-bat for Hobbs, but not before they put 24 runs across the plate in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So we're going to go the bottom of the 1st inning, that is. Bottom of the 1st inning. Now we go to the top of the 2nd inning. Hobbs is winning this one 24-0, and we'll have Lady Eagle softball back here on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
First American Bank believes success comes from building personal, long-lasting relationships that are built on mutual trust. We take a consultative-driven approach to get to know you and your business. We offer a wide array of banking and digital solutions, plus more than a century of local experience. So, with First American Bank as your trusted partner, when you succeed, we do too. Find out how we can get it done for you. First American Bank, local first since 1903. Member FDIC.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. In the bottom of the 1st inning, Hobbs scored 24 runs on 15 hits, and there were 2 errors committed, 1 left on base. So we go to the top of the 2nd inning with Clovis coming up to the plate. And the first pitch is in, and it was a ball. The second pitch is swung on and fouled off out of play off to the right. So 1-1 is your count on Lopez, your second baseman, number 11, batting in the fourth slot. Clovis went 3 up, 3 down in their first at-bat in what felt like about 2 hours ago, what feels like it. That is fouled off to the right out of play for strike 2. So 1-2 the count, no outs, nobody on. Lopez leadoff batter in this at-bat for Clovis. Shalonda Lefevre, the catcher, on deck, and Brooke Renteria, your pitcher, in the hole. 1-2, I've got a 1-2 count. And that is 3 strikes, and that's your first out. So a strikeout for out number 1, and that is the third strikeout by Medina in this game, as Yaroseli back on the mound. And again, that was a very long at-bat, and Medina had to wait a long time. I can't see. I don't know if she was out and stayed loose and warm or not, if she was able to do that or if that's allowed. Ooh, and she comes off the rubber really hard to the left, and that ball ends up high and outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the second inning, Hobbs winning 24-0 against Clovis, and that comes in a little high and outside as well. Martinez trying to frame that up for the ump. He didn't buy it. He said that was a little too outside. So Lefevre, the catcher, to the plate. 2-0 count. 1 out. Nobody on. That is a swing and a miss. A nice pitch by Medina with a nice fastball down the middle. So 2-1 the count now on Lefevre. 1 out. Nobody on. Hobbs wanting to make quick work and get back in the dugout, as that is foul tipped back to the screen for strike 2, as Hobbs is poised for another 3-inning run rule game against Clovis. They won the first one 17-0 in 3 innings, and a walk-off in walk-off fashion as well. And here 24-0 in the top of the second, and that is going to be high and run the count full on Lefevre, as 3-2 count, 1 out, nobody on. 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the order here for Clovis. First one went down with a strikeout. Lefevre second up to bat. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for out number 2 and strikeout number 4 for Medina. So out number 2 here in the top of the second inning. That's going to bring up the pitcher, Brooke Renteria, to the plate. It's her first plate appearance. Love awaits on deck and Dominguez in the hole. If we get that far, Hobbs would like to be efficient and not let Clovis get that deep. A nice strike on the outside corner. Yes, call strike 1. Beautiful pitch. So 0-1 the count on Renteria. That is going to be low for ball 1. Even up the count, 1-1. Shadows beginning to lengthen across the field. Still a little breezy, kind of gusty at times. Wind from the right to the left across field. And a little swinging bunt is going to be picked up by Young. She comes across from third base, picks it up, throws it over to first. So 5-3 for the third out. And 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're going to go to the bottom of the second inning with Hobbs leading this one 24-0. We'll be back with Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
First American Bank believes success comes from building personal, long-lasting relationships that are built on mutual trust. We take a consultative-driven approach to get to know you and your business. We offer a wide array of banking and digital solutions, plus more than a century of local experience. So, with First American Bank as your trusted partner, when you succeed, we do too. Find out how we can get it done for you. First American Bank, local first since 1903. Member FDIC.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. As we go down to the bottom of the second inning, and the top of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors. It was 3 up, 3 down, two more strikeouts for Medina, and then a ground out third to first for that third out. And only 6 batters have come up to bat for Clovis in this game. When we get to the bottom of the third, it will be batters 7, 8, and 9 up to the plate for Clovis. But before we get there, Hobbs has a chance at the plate to increase their lead. They've got it 24-0. The bottom of the second inning, it'll be number 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Harrison, Chavez, Garcia. So number 10, Candace Harrison, your shortstop, up to the plate. Leadoff batter here in this bottom of the second inning. 24-0 is your score. That is going to catch the outside corner for strike one. So 0-1 the count against Harrison. That is going to be outside for ball number 1. As the sun was behind some clouds, it's peeking out just in time for the sunset, creating some glare, some long shadows over the field. That's going to be high for ball number 2. So 2-1 the count. 2-1, no outs, nobody on. Bottom of the second inning. If Hobbs maintains at least a 15-run lead, this game would be over. There's a hot grounder going to go through the legs of Silva. Go out to left field. Gutierrez picks it up, throws it into the cutoff, the shortstop. And really, I think that's an E5. It went. She put her glove down and it went through her legs, and I think she had time to stop that. So Harrison reaching on an error brings up Chavez to the plate. So no outs, 1 runner on. Bottom of the second. This is actually, no, this is, I have this is Harrison, Cameron Harrison, a substitute batter, and she hits what turns out to be, a little base hit. Well, Texas leaguer into shallow right field, so she's on with a single. And that was a substitute batter in for Edith Chavez. That was Cameron Harrison. Again, with such a big lead, Coach Crossland bringing some girls off the bench in reserve, getting them in there as substitute batters, getting them some bat time, some game experience. And the first pitch in is going to be a ball, as this is number 9, Camry Bennett, to the plate. And that is going to get away. Oh, we have a different catcher now coming in. Lefevre is not behind the plate anymore. And I can't see the number of the new catcher. But 2 balls and no strikes, the count. 2 runners on. That is going to hit the inside corner for strike 1. So 2-1 the count now on Camry Bennett, with runners on first and second now. No outs. No outs, 2 on. 2-1 the count. Bennett watches that when she flinched, thought about swinging, and it did catch the outside corner. So 2-2 is your count on Camry Bennett, substitute batter in for Garcia, rather. And that is going to be high. Get out the glove of the new catcher for Clovis. Renteria still out on the mound for Clovis. And that runs the count full, 3-2. Now on Garcia, or actually on Bennett. That's going to be fouled off over to the left, out of play. Count remains full. And the umpire's just calling for more balls. He was headed to the dugout, and I thought, uh-oh, what's the problem? He's just getting some more balls, filling up his pouch, reloading. Count full. Here we are in the bottom of the second inning, and Hobbs winning this one 24-0 over Clovis. That is going to be high for ball 4, and Bennett will take the base, and that's going to load him up. Bases loaded. And Hannah Granillo will bat in place of Marissa Young. Granillo had a 3 RBI double and crossed the plate her first plate appearance. So no outs. Bases are loaded. And the ball is going to get away from the catcher, go back to the backstop. Sorry, I don't have her number. Her chest protector, her straps in the back are hiding the number. She is in relief of the Lefevre, who caught the first game and started catching the second for. Oh, and that is going to hit Granillo. So she's hit by a pitch, and that's going to walk one. Well, that's going to bring one in. A hit by pitch is going to bring in one and keep the bases loaded. So it'll be Granillo on first, Bennett on second, and Harrison on third. So one more run comes in and makes it 25-0. And there is that's a hit ball. And does she make it back into the base on time? They're going to say she's out. So that's a double. Nope, she scrambled back. Just the one out as Martinez hit a little line drive shot to the first baseman for the first out. But Granillo was able to scramble back to the bag and do that safely. So bases remain loaded now. One out. Bases loaded, one out. And what would be, and the first, it's a call strike as Mariah Jimenez up to the plate, another substitute batter. As I write that down in the book. And it's going to be a 1-1 count on her now. So 1-1, one out, runners at every base. They're loaded. Hobbs has put one run across. And that catches the inside corner for call, strike 2. 1-2. Yes, it is 25-0. That was Harrison crossed. Now bases are loaded. A little line drive shot over the head of Lopez at second base. Goes out to right field. Stopped and thrown in, but it is going to score 2. So runners at the corners now, but that scores Harrison and Bennett. So 2 more runs across now, and that puts Granillo on third and Jimenez on first. So that's a 2 RBI single. No, yeah, 2 RBI single. She's on first. Yeah, and Granillo on third. So runners at the corners. Just one out. And makes it 27-0 now. So Bennett up to the plate. No, wait a minute. That's going to be Garcia, Allison Garcia. So another substitute batter. Allison Garcia. And the first pitch is going to be a ball. In fact, it got away from the Clovis catcher. So 1-0 the count, one out. Runners at first and third. There's a little dribbler. It's going to go foul down the third baseline for strike 1. So 1-1 the count. Even up now. 1-1 the count. One out. Runners at first and third. Allison Garcia, your batter, your substitute batter.
in place of Kinsey Bennett. And that's going to be high and outside for ball number 2. 2-1 the count. As this has just been a struggle from the get-go for Clovis in the first and now the second game of this doubleheader. And a high fly ball. Looks like it's over the fence. It is. It's gone. And that's going to be a 3-run home run for Allison Garcia. A 3-run homer. And that's going to bring in Granillo, Jimenez, and, of course, Garcia. And that is going to make it an even 30-0 for Hobbs. 30-0 your score here in the bottom of the second inning. With 1 out, Clovis concentrates on just getting 1 out at a time. They only need 2 more outs to get out of this inning and get back to the bat.
Now batting for the Lady Eagles, number 6, Angel Jimenez.
Bottom of the order for Hobbs as number 6, Angel Jimenez, your left fielder, coming up to the plate. She had a 2 RBI double, a 3-run home run, and a single, and crossed the plate twice for Hobbs. First pitch is going to be in, and it's a ball. So 1-0 the count, 1 out, bottom of the second inning. Hobbs has put 6 runs across in this at-bat. That's going to remain high and outside and get out of the glove. No runners on right now, though. So 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0. As Clovis had a little meeting in the circle, I'm sure they were telling themselves, listen, we've got 1 out. Let's just try to put together 2 more outs and get out of this. And there's a swing and a miss. Healthy cut by Jimenez for strike number 1. Hobbs, 30-0. They may be thinking, well, you just don't give up. If you're, no matter which side of that 30-0 you're on, you keep the line moving and you keep batting and doing your best if you're Hobbs, and you try to stop the bleeding as soon as you can if you're Clovis. 3-1 the count. And a high fly ball maybe headed over the fence. Nope, it's going to hit right in front of it. And the center fielder Romero out there to make the stop, and a good throw in to second base. But it is a stand-up double for Angel Jimenez.
Now batting for the Lady Eagles, number 13, Kaya Boyle.
Brings back to top of the order now, Kaya Boyle coming up to the plate. Still just 1 out, and we're going to have a pitching change for Clovis. So with top of the order, Boyle coming back up. Let's see. I don't see the number. I can't catch. I don't see who that is. She's got, if she would turn around, I might could catch the number on the back of her jersey. Number 17 is Madison Cushing. So we'll have a pitching change. Cushing coming in. Cushing is going to come in and replace Renteria. So Cushing comes off the bench. She played in the first game. And I believe, where did she play in that first game? She was the first baseman in the first game. And she's been on the bench in this game, but she's going to come in relief and be the new pitcher. So with the pitching change, let's take a timeout. We'll be back with more Lady Eagle softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Just call us if it's a ride you like. We'll take you there and bring you back.
Hobbs Express provides bus service throughout Hobbs. The bus system operates Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 7 to 4. Hobbs Express has an immediate opening for a CDL bus driver, offering great pay and benefits. Apply online at hobbsnm.org or call 397-9230 for more information. When you need transportation anywhere around Hobbs, think of Hobbs Express. Hobbs Express, 397-9290.
The team of Hobbs Rental Valve Services is proud to support the Eagles in sports and academics. Hobbs Rental provides competitive valve services, relief valve, vent valve, and thief hatch maintenance. PR certified and ISN approved. When you need the job done right the first time, call Hobbs Rental Valve Service 393-3085, 393-3085. Hobbs Rental Valve Service, 814 West Marland, is a proud supporter of Lee County Athletics. Go Eagles!
And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan, and here we are out of the pitching change for Clovis, and up to the plate is Boyle, and she fouls off the second pitch off to the left for strike number 2. 0-2, 1 out and 1 runner on. That is Angel Jimenez out there on second base after the double. So top of the order, Boyle, 0-2 count. A swing and a hit right up the middle is going to be picked up by Romero and thrown over to first. So Boyle grounds out 6-3 for the second out. And with that, the Lady Eagles have batted completely around in this bottom of the second. Brings up Candace Harrison, your shortstop, up to the plate. She reached on an error across the plate last time up. She had a strikeout, a line drive out, and a single, and scored. And this is a high fly ball headed into right field. It's going to be foul, out of play for a long strike 1. So 0-1 the count. 0-1 the count on Candace Harrison. 2 outs now, bottom of the second inning. 30-0 is your score here. Hobbs winning against Clovis. A high fly ball maybe out of the park. No, it's headed into left field, and Gutierrez is going to make the grab, hang on to it. And finally, the inning is done. So a fly out to left field is the 3rd out. And the Hobbs ladies, after batting around and then some, are going to get back out into the field. They lead this one 30-0. And we're going to be back with more Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
First American Bank believes success comes from building personal, long-lasting relationships that are built on mutual trust. We take a consultative-driven approach to get to know you and your business. We offer a wide array of banking and digital solutions, plus more than a century of local experience. So, with First American Bank as your trusted partner, when you succeed, we do too. Find out how we can get it done for you. First American Bank, local first since 1903. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to Lady Eagles softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. In the bottom of the second inning, Hobbs scored 6 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error committed and 1 left on base. So we go to the top of the third inning with Clovis coming up to bat, and it's the bottom of the order, 7, 8, and 9. So top of the third, no outs, nobody on. First pitch is in, and it's going to be a ball. So 1-0 the count. Your batter is number 8, Jonna Love, playing first base for Clovis. Number 6, Erica Dominguez, the right fielder on deck. And number 10, Adriana Silva, your third baseman, in the hole. And that's going to be a strike right over the plate. Nice pitch by Medina. Yaraceli pitching the second game. First game of the doubleheader was a 1-hit shutout by Bennett. 1-1 the count. And a swing and a miss. Well, I think she may have foul tipped it, but still 1-2 now the count. 1-2. No outs, nobody on. Top of the third. Clovis trying to salvage some, just playing for pride now, salvaging some of this game, trying to get on and get it a few runs on, a few runs around, that is, on the board. That is fouled off out of play to the right, so count remains 1-2 on Love. 1-2 the count. Medina with the pitch. And that's going to be low and inside for ball 2. So that'll even up the count, 2-2. It's just nothing much has gone Clovis's way. They haven't been able to get anything going at the bat. They've had some pitching problems, some fielding problems. And Hobbs has just had a field day with their pitching and has been able to just put 30 runs on the board. And that is a call, strike 3 for the first out. And by the way, that's the 5th strikeout for Medina in this game. And the first out now in this at-bat for Clovis. That brings up Dominguez, your right fielder, to the plate. Her first plate appearance. Silva on deck, and then the top of the order, Romero in the hole. Dominguez, a right-handed batter. 1 out, nobody on. Oh, and a beautiful pitch. Hits the outside corner. Yes. Nice pitch by Medina. This is a difficult game. If you're a pitcher, these long at-bats are challenging for you to stay warm and to stay focused and to stay in the groove. And Medina, to her credit, has been doing a nice job coming out and looking very fresh and still in the groove. And that one, unfortunately, is low and inside for ball 1. So in the dirt, 1-1, evens up the count. Silva batting in the ninth slot, playing third base. I didn't read her name from that lineup, the coach's handwriting. The first game I was calling her Siha, but it is Silva. My apologies. 1-1 count, 1 out, nobody on. That is going to be a little bit low. Nice pitch over the plate, but just a little low for ball number 2. 2-1 the count. 30-0 is your score. I have not called a high school game that has gone 30 runs for either team, and certainly not as one-sided as this game is. 30-0. And there's a chopper over to first base. Garcia, or actually that we have a change in the field. I don't think that's Garcia at first. I'm not sure who's playing first. We had a lot of substitute batters, and I think that is number 9 for Hobbs playing first base. That is Bennett, Kinsey Bennett over there on first, so I'll make that change in my book. Kinsey.
Now batting, Adriana Silva.
And so that was that was 3 unassisted in the scorebook for the second out. And Silva at the plate with 2 outs. First pitch is a strike. So 0-1 the count on Silva, bottom of the order here. 2 outs, nobody on. 2 outs, hello. And there's a chopper that's going to go foul down the third base line for strike number 2. So 2 outs, 0-2 count. Bottom of the third with the bottom of the lineup for Clovis up. This is just Silva's first plate appearance in this second game. She batted in the second slot and had just grounded out to the first baseman in her only plate appearance in the first game. That pitch is going to be outside for ball number 1. So 1-2 count now on Silva, 2 outs. And she stays alive, fouls that one off to the right. So in plate protection mode here. 1-2 the count on her. I did, by the way, catch the number of the catcher who came in relief of Lefevre, and coming off the bench was Chacon. She was the catcher in that bottom of the second inning for Clovis. That is low and inside for ball 2. So evens up the count, 2-2. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Nobody on. Bottom of the third, or top of the third inning, rather. Clovis up to the plate, 30-0 your score. Hobbs leading. And that is high for ball number 3. That runs the count full. A riser, fastball by Medina. Just missed the zone, though. So full count now on Silva. That is going to be low for ball number 4. So the first walk issued by Medina in this game puts a run on base, and this is just the first base runner for Clovis in this game. Silva on first now, 2 outs. Romero, a swinging, it's foul. It hit her. It hit her before she left the box, and that does hurt. When that comes down, I think it hit her toe. I think when she swung, that ball went straight down, and I think it hit her either the top of her foot or maybe her toe, maybe at the top of her foot. But she is in some pain. So we have an injury timeout, and we'll be back with more Lady Eagle softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
First American Bank believes
Forest
success
Tire
comes from
cares
building
about your
personal,
time.
long-lasting
You tackle an
relationships
endless to-do
that are
list
built
every
on
day.
mutual
It
trust.
may seem like a
We take
thankless
a
job, but
consultative
you know
driven
better.
approach
It's
to
the little
getting
things
to
that
know
At
matter
some point, you'll have
most. That's why
questioning.
we'll
We offer a
appreciate
wide
the
array
enduring
of
value of the
banking
Michelin
solutions
Defender
for
tray.
the
One last
Ladies.
thing.
Rental Valve Services. Competitive valve
And staff at Stone Oil Field Services.
ISN approved. When you need the job done right the first time, call Hobbs Rental Valve Service 393-3085, 393-3085. Hobbs Rental Valve Service, 814 West Marland, is a proud supporter of Lee County Athletics. Go Eagles!
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Oh, welcome back. Wow, some technology went really haywire there. Sorry about that. A lot of different spots trying to play at once. Finally got that shut down, sorted out. That's okay. We've had this game, we've had a lot of our sponsors have gotten their messages across. We've been able to go through rotation quite a few times here in this Hobbs in the first game and now in the second one as well. But we appreciate all of our different sponsors. Lasco of Hobbs, Lee County State Bank, NMR Pipeline, Robinson and Associates, Thriftway, and others from the first panel. First American Bank, Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, and Hobbs Rental. So thank you very much to all of our sponsors. We appreciate you very much. All right, out of the injury timeout, it is Romero back into the box with an 0-1 count, and she hits at that one, fouls it off out of play. Off to the screen, off to the right for strike 2. So 0-1, the count now on her. And she was able to get back up after spending a few minutes on the ground. That foul ball hit her while she was in the box, or the ball she swung and the ball hit her while she was in the box. It becomes a foul ball. But it was painful, I'm sure. But she is back up, and 0-2 count on her now. Swing and a high fly ball headed out to center field. Chavez comes under it. They didn't call each other off, as coming out of left field, Jimenez kept coming, and Chavez called for the ball and tried to catch it. There was a collision out there, and the ball ended up being dropped. And in this case, unfortunately, the error is on the center fielder because it was her glove that touched it, but it may have been as much an error on the left fielder for not yielding. I don't know, not being out there. I don't know who called and who called it off, but it's an E8 officially that puts Romero on base, and that sent Silva, who reached on a walk, all the way to third. So Clovis has runners at first and third now on the official E8 and brings up Giselle Romero up to the plate. 2 outs, 2 on here in the top of the third. Clovis threatening to have a score. There's a hit straight up the middle. It will score 1, but that is Candace. Nope, it will score 1, but it doesn't count because that doesn't count because that was a put out as Candace Harrison came from shortstop and was able to touch the bag and make that. So it was 6 unassisted to cut off the runner going to second, and that ends it because instead of going to the bottom of the third inning, Hobbs is already leading and winning this one 30-0. So that is the run rule. So if they're ahead as much as 15 runs or more in the third inning, and Hobbs was coming up, winning this one 30-0, that means that is the ball game. So after the third out, 6 unassisted, Romero would have reached on the fielder's choice and technically be left on base. But there were no runs. So 30-0 is the final score in this one. Hobbs winning both games of the doubleheader against Clovis, and that is going to end the game. So I'll be back to wrap things up here in just a couple of minutes. We'll hear from more of those sponsors we just acknowledged, and we'll be back with the Lady Eagle softball wrap-up on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat, and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores. NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who've provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Is your cost of rent through the roof? It might make sense to buy a home instead. If you're still renting and never thought you could afford a home, right now you may want to call your friends at Robinson & Associates. Robinson & Associates offers free consultations in English and in Spanish. Robinson & Associates want to guide you through the entire process and make it as simple as possible. Call Robinson & Associates today at 392-0266. That's 575-392-0266. Call Robinson & Associates today and let them earn your trust.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app, create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit onlinelcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
All right, and let's come back and wrap things up here for Lady Eagle softball on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. So there were 30 runs in this game scored by Hobbs, a 30-0 final score over Clovis. It was a no-hit shutout for Yaraceli Medina. She struck out, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, she struck out 5, walked 1, and a no-hit shutout for her as Hobbs scored 30 runs on 19 hits. They committed no errors. They left 2 on base. And for Clovis, they had no runs on no hits. They committed 3 errors. They left 1 on base. And they used 2 pitchers in that game. And Rivera's your losing pitcher. Cushing came in relief. Rivera had, I believe, 4 walks, a strikeout, a hit batter, and Cushing had a couple of walks, a couple of hit batters. So not a good day for Clovis softball today in both of these games, as Hobbs won the first game 17-0. And that was a one-hit shutout for Bennett, 17-0 in that first game in a grand slam walk-off fashion. And then that went only 3 innings. And this game really only technically went 2.5, but Hobbs with a 30-0 lead coming up in the bottom of the third. That means the game was over. So the final score, 30-0 in this one. That gives Hobbs a 10-8 season record and now 4-0 in district. And they are going to be in action on the road on Tuesday the 18th. They will be at Carlsbad. I'll be doing the call on those games on the road with the Lady Eagles. Looking forward to that. Always tough competition against Carlsbad. But Hobbs looking good and lots of confidence off of those 4 district wins. 2 against Roswell High last week, and then 2 more today, or on Tuesday rather, and then 2 more today against Clovis. So they'll take their 4-0 district record against a top-ranked Carlsbad team. I'll have to check that. I say top-ranked. I really haven't checked their rankings this week, so I'm not sure. But they're always tough, and they are the top seed in this district, at least, in 4-5A. But the Hobbs girls are looking good. This drops Clovis down to 2-16 on the season, 0-4 in district. So they're really struggling, and they will be home against Roswell High on Tuesday. So that's going to do it. Hobbs winning these 2 games, 17-0 in the first, 30-0 in the second. And congratulations to Coach Crossland, his staff, and to the Lady Eagles. And we will be back in action on Tuesday night from Carlsbad right here. I believe that will be, again, because I'm not sure if there's baseball on Tuesday or not. I'll have to double check that. If not, if there's no baseball, we'll be on Hobbs Sports YouTube. But if there is Hobbs baseball Tuesday night, and I think there very well may be, we'll be back here on Lee County News and Sports YouTube and, of course, HobbsAmerica.com. So that's going to do it for tonight. 2 more wins for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. I'm Dawn Morgan saying so long, and we'll be back with more Lady Eagles softball Tuesday night. Good evening.